few months ago, I looked in the mirror and I saw the face of my father. Ordinarily, that would have been fine, but I got startled a little bit. Why? Because my father went to be with the Lord about 25 years ago. And seeing his image in the mirror sort of startled me. I looked closely and I saw a man who had a short haircut, kind of like I do. I looked in the mirror and I saw a man who was clean shaven, kind of like I do. I looked in the mirror and I saw a man who had a lot of things in his mind and was juggling a lot of issues, kind of like I do. I looked in the mirror and I saw a man who was raising young children and at the same time battling with aging parents, kind of like I do. And then all of a sudden, all those lessons that my father used to teach us and tell us over dinner table came rushing into my mind. And I can recall 10 of his most frequent lessons that he would teach us. Lesson number 1, if I remember correctly, was to whom much is given, much is also expected. That was my dad's lesson number 1. To whom much is given, much is also. You see, my father, he was the first one in his family to go to school, live in the city, and get a good job. And so he ensured that his siblings got a good education too. Most of my uncles, my father took him to school. Most of my aunties, my father took him to school so they could have a career and start their families of their own. To whom much is given, much is also done what? Expected. And that was a thing that kept repeating around the dinner table. Lesson number 2, if I remember correctly, was success depends on paying attention to small details. Not the big ones, but just the small. You see, my father, every time he got home from work, he would be having a newspaper in his hand. He would come and sit in his usual chair, flip open the newspaper, and peer at us with his reading glasses. Randomly, he would just pick any of us and ask you what was in the news today, or what is the capital of India, or what is the frequency, what is the currency used in China. In other words, my father wanted us to know about politics. He wanted us to know about politics because he said politics determines whether you worship public. Politics determines who you marry. Politics determines how much you get paid. Politics determines where you live. Politics determines a lot of things in your life. And so, daughters, you have to pay attention to your politics. Know who your leaders are. Know when it's the election. Know what is going on. To date, I still listen to National Public Radio. And people say, why you listen to NPR? You like an old man. I said, no. It's just a habit. I want to be abreast with what my politics says. If I remember, lesson number 3 was be friendly. Yes, be friendly. You know, he wants friends must show himself friendly. For there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Be friendly. Make good eye contact when you shake hands. Yes. Because my father, because he worked in the bank, most of the city employees would cash their checks in the bank. And so they knew him. And anytime we walked outside with my father, you'd see people waving left and right. Hey, Mr. Otieno, how can I help you? Just taking a walk with him was like, a parade. And so he said, be friendly. Make friends. Be nice to people out there. Okay? So that was a big lesson. Be friendly, be respectful. When you see somebody who's older than you, get up, leave your seat for somebody older than you. In a public transportation place or in a public area, give up your seat. If somebody is older than you, get up. Let that older person sit down. What else can I remember? Lesson number 4. Dress nicely. Dress nicely. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Okay? Because first impressions, they last forever. You would say, son, polish your shoes. Son, iron your clothes. Son, shave. I have 6 brothers, and if I recall, I think all of us pretty much are clean shaven most of the time. I don't know why, but that's just how it was. You see, there was 16 of us, brothers and sisters. And every morning we saw our father wake up and he would go to the bathroom and shower, shave. And while we waited for him outside the door, and he'd come out from the shower and toss us up in the air and say, hey, utasoma mpaka wapi? And then we'd say university. Like, where will you graduate from? I say, university, Dad. You'd toss you as a kid. I didn't even know what university is, but I would just wait for my father to come out of the shower and toss me up in the, utasoma mpaka wapi? Then we say, university! Utasoma mpaka, university! It was just so we saw Dad shave. That was a routine. Today, I don't even know why I shave, but I just shave. I just shave because Dad shaved. So, dress nicely. First impressions last forever. They mean a lot. Which other lesson do I remember? Lesson number 5 probably is, just speak softly and carry a big stick. That was big. My dad was not huge on spanking and beating. No. He would occasionally give you what is called ngoto. Dum dum, tap on your head. Dum dum, triple tap, double tap on your head if you did something wrong. The spanking he left for my mother, Nyamush. Oh, my mother, he could spank like he was trying out for Major League Baseball. She could spank like it was an Olympic game. She could spank like our salvation depended on it. In fact, we had a tree behind our house called Msemakweli. If my mother sent you to go get a switch from Msemakweli, know that your life was about to end. But my father did not do any of that. He would just occasionally give you ngoto. And that ngoto made us feel so ashamed. In fact, we got used to our mother's whipping, but it is the ngoto that we were really afraid for. In other words, set limits, set boundaries, mean what you say, and say what you mean. Speak softly and carry a big stick, or just give them some ngoto, which will make them more ashamed of their behavior. Which other lesson can I recall? Lesson number 6, just work hard. Work hard. Work hard was big. You see, he believed he who does not work should not eat. That was his philosophy. A man who sleeps during harvest should not be allowed to partake with everybody. You sleep, you can't eat. In fact, in their generation, they believed that a man with the rough hands was a good provider. A man had to have rough hands, and that was something that was very, very important to them. Keep busy, because idle hand, is a devil's what? Devil's work. So keep your hands busy, work hard. Raising 16 children in a 2-bedroom house, I don't know how he did it, but that was just, he did it. All of us, my sisters, all the sisters, tuition, everything paid for, and we all had, sometimes we felt like we were lacking, but everything was paid for. Everything, we all went to school. Everything was paid for. Lesson number 7. Don't shy away from helping. Don't run away from help. Don't run away from help. Service is the rent that you pay for living in this world. In this world, there's a lot of people who are less fortunate than you. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, the face of God is always before me, whether I look right or left. So he used to say, Konyo Siko, help is forever. Konyo Siko, there's always a lot of people who are less fortunate than you. So you live in the constant state of helping people who are less fortunate. Whatsoever you do to the least of these brethren, that was his philosophy, you do unto God. Whatsoever you do to the least of these brethren, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Whatsoever you do to the least of these people, you do unto God. So that was a big lesson that I can remember growing up with my father. Lesson number 8, perhaps it'd be, just don't judge people. Don't judge a book by its cover, okay? Yeah. You see, an old man today was a young man back in the day. There's an African saying that goes like this. The mouth of an old man may smell, but the words and the wisdom that come out of his mouth do not smell. The mouth of an old man may smell, but the words and the wisdom that come out do not smell. See good in all men. Do good unto all men. Respect all men. Be kind, especially to those who are less kind, who are not kind to you. Be kind. See good in all men, especially those who are not kind to you. Lesson number 9, if I can recall, would probably be value your children. Yes, your children, my father, children are like arrows in the hands of a mighty warrior. Blessed is the man who has a quiver full of arrows, because with an arrow you can just shoot the arrow. And so blessed is the man who has a quiver full of arrows, whether they're boys or girls. Educate them. Create an atmosphere of possibility. Create an atmosphere where anything is possible. They will give you heartache. They will give you a gray hair. But stick with them, stand with them, nurture them. Create that atmosphere of possibility where anything is possible. And just create an opportunity. Just be there. Even today, I remember my father, he didn't say anything much, but he just sat in this chair. That's all he did. He would come home and just sit in his chair, read his newspaper. Didn't say anything. Just his presence alone. Just sit, wasn't talking much. He'd look at you, and then randomly, he'd ask some of these political questions. Just an atmosphere, his presence alone made just a lot of difference in our lives. Lesson number 10 was just constantly talking to us about life. Life is not a straight line. Life is not a straight line. Life has got ups and downs. When you're up, don't get too elated. When you're down, the only place you can go is up. Life is full of drama and conflict. Every day you will fall. The greatest thing is you don't stay there. You get up and move. Your setback is your comeback. And that is just the essence of life. Life is just drama. There is no just flat line. No. Get used to the up and down. Enjoy them. Today you're here, tomorrow you're there. If you're up, pull somebody up. If you're down, push somebody up. Whatever you do, there is drama, there is conflict. You don't stop. In the words of Ron Kenoly, if you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. You go ahead. Go ahead. If you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, you don't stop. You just go ahead. If you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. If you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. If you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. You go ahead. Go ahead. Do what? Go ahead. Do what? Go ahead. If you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. If you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. If you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop. You go ahead. So those are some of the 10 lessons that I could randomly remember on top of my head about life with my father. And so I want to take this opportunity to wish all the fathers out there and father figures a happy Father's Day. Enjoy your time. Your presence is valued. Whatever it is, just stand for something. You know, say, if you don't stand for something, you will lay down for anything. Just be there, paps. Be there, paps. And thank you for all those paps out there. That's happy Father's Day. From Fishmonger Stories, happy Father's Day.